I would just say how like they like the Bucks weren't playing last night.
The Bucks.
Now, cause I saw them in the back of your screen. I was like, they didn't play last night. But then I saw the Suns and I was like, ew. I was like, yeah, it didn't go well.
Don't do that. Don't say ill. That's just don't say ill.
Bro, it's not my fault, bro.
What you mean?
It's not my fault that that like second seed bound.
That's not a bad thing. Not a bad thing at all.
Oh, it's not number one.
Listen, man, my dark horse exceeded expectations.
Yeah. Please don't ask me about my dark horse. Paris.
Well, what's wrong? What you mean?
Whoa, stop. Don't ask me.
Hey, I'm just better at analyzing the game. There's nothing wrong with that. Nothing to be ashamed of, It's just
yeah, right.
what LeBron said. We built different. We just built different over here. It's nothing to be ashamed about.
Yeah, all built different. And but LeBron built different to last in the playing game. You know what? You know that. You know that.
Hey. What happened last night? Just one step closer to getting out of there. Just
yeah. You know what team is gonna be in there when it's all said and done? My dark horse. It's shameful, bro. It's like so.
Who's not gonna be there?
The Mavericks. Mavericks are not going to be there, bro. They're going to be in the fifth spot, bro. Trust and believe, bro. They're not letting that up. They're not letting it up. Not letting that go, bro.
Hey. We'll see. We'll see what happens.
What you keep saying with this, we'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens.
It's not happening. We're not. We'll see. It's going to happen, bro. I trust and believe. You really think they're going
to let's finish out the game. Hold on there, casual.
Trust and believe. Look it. I put my life savings on it. No, let me stop.
Well, first, you got to have life savings.
You got that one.
So yeah, let's slow down on that.
I put my thing. I put my life control on it.
Your life control?
Yeah.
You barely have control. Come on, man. You need to get yourself into control. That's what you should be worried about. Right. Welcome to the Mind of Basketball Podcast, also known as M.O.B Podcast. What are we on? Episode 130?
Yes, 130.
I'm Evan.
I'm Ja.
This is our basketball podcast. We recap, break down, analyze players and teams from previous games from previous day. Get a new intro back in. Yeah. We were doing our new style, new vibe, new style kind of thing, just chilling. Less analytical stuff, but it's always nice to give our intro and give an update, talk about episode we on, remind people who we are, stuff like that, what we do. So that's going to be integrated into our kind of new style of our podcast.
Like he got ejected. He tried to push Colin Sexton. Colin Sexton ain't gonna go nowhere. He ain't go nowhere. He's like, hey.
What was the final score of that game?
I know that the Mavs won by like 30 points.
There you go. So did it matter? Not one bit. Oh man! Speaking of blowouts, what What's going on? What happened with my dark horse? We was just talking about it.
Yeah. Let's just be honest. They build different. Let me stop. Nah,
Yeah,
man.
we know you a hater. We know you a hater. It's okay.
Nah, man. The Lakers came out to play. The Lakers, they came out to play. You just
Yeah, they
simple as
really did.
they needed this. They knew what they were going against. They knew that they knew they was going against a really tough ass team. I can tell you that for a fact. Um, they've been on a losing streak once again before, prior to this game, and they needed this. And they came out to play. They came out heavy hitting. They came out all cylinders connecting on both ends of the floor. And you could see as the right after that first quarter, the momentum shifted in their favor, and they just couldn't let up. And you can't let up because you talking about you're playing against the Phoenix Suns, the second best team in the Western Conference. Like you can't let up. You can't let this go. You know they could smell blood immediately. The Suns could take advantage the moment they smell blood. But yet the Lakers did a good job, especially defensively. They limited the Sun Stars to I believe like 20 something points combined.
Yep.
Embarrassing.
Yeah.
MVP Chris Paul.
Yeah, I mean, we was gonna go over the original ESPN primetime games. But looking at both results of both games of NBA on NBA TV, we probably should just went over from the beginning. I mean, and who knew that Anthony Davis could have come out on a mission last night the way he did.
Yeah. Well, he had to go back into his Pelican mode, like when he was carrying the team by himself. Not saying that he had people around him this time.
That's disrespectful. Wait, which Pelicans team? Because he had different versions.
The one when he lost to Golden State the first time.
Yeah, Quincy Pondexter.
He's a shooter.
He was a shooter.
Where's Quincy Pondexter now?
Was Drew Holiday on that team?
I think Drew Holiday was out though. I don't remember if he was injured or not.
Man, that seems so long ago. And yet it wasn't that long ago.
It wasn't that long ago, but it was.
All I know is that KD was hurt in OKC.
Mm-hmm.
And if he wasn't hurt, they probably would have got in. And not only that, it was AD's buzzer beater against OKC to give them the tiebreaker, which eventually was the reason why they got in to that 8th spot.
And then they got smoked by the eventual champions.
And the MVP, Curry was killing them. Hey, but nonetheless, that's past time. That's past time. Yeah, that was a big win for the Lakers. Much needed win for them. Suns, sadly, but they still a second seed. The Lakers needed this win more than the Suns did. So, yeah. Let's just get these NBA TV games out first off before we go down into the first games of the afternoon.
Yeah. Well, the Ball brothers put on the show.
Yeah.
And I'm not talking about in terms of score. I'm just talking about in terms of execution of playing what they were doing for the teams. Like the way they was going at it, especially down the stretch, it was beautiful to watch. But let's be honest, this was
especially like LaMelo.
this was a close game to the end. Both teams came out with something to prove. Again, both teams in a situation in which is playing game or bust. Well, the Hornets are in a different situation. They're more playoff/playing, while the Pelicans are more fighting for that playing game.
Yeah, Pelicans is very slim chance of getting into that playing, while the Hornets, they're most likely going to be playing, probably not going to get out of the playing, so they know their stance.
Yeah. So yeah, the Pelicans needed this more than the Hornets. Both teams really needed it, but the Pelicans needed it more than the Hornets. Desperately. And let's just fast forward to it. That fourth quarter is where everything started to go. The Hornets had the lead, and they looked like they were gonna contain it. And then the Pelicans, surprisingly, despite everything that has been happening in the season, especially in this quarter alone, they found a way to flip a switch. They found a way to make things go in their way. And again, all because of Lonzo. I felt like Lonzo was the main piece for orchestrating everything that happened in that fourth quarter. From passing connections to playing defense, making the right plays down the stretch. He was just doing everything. You see, this whole team was going well. Jackson Hayes, Eric Bledsoe, people like that. It was just it just went well, and the Pelicans was able to make a fourth quarter comeback.
Yeah, Lonzo, he was kind of struggling throughout the game, but towards that fourth quarter, he really started to step up his game.
Exactly.
As for the Hornets, yeah, they had that guy named Skitty Titty. That's my guy, and he was balling out.
Yeah, yes, he was.
Just not enough.
It's too much, too late.
Yeah, that's basically what happened.
Yep.
Do you remember what happened in the final few possessions?
I don't remember much. I know for a fact that he did make a three, but it was a late three. It wasn't going to really do much. I do remember.
And then like Lonzo. Sorry.
Nah, you good.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can't remember much except for that.
No, you good. It was just, I mean, I think it was a key offensive rebound.
Yeah.
Pelicans. And then they maintained possession, ran clock out, hit free throws a little bit too late for the Hornets.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Did you see the half court buzzer beater that I think Nickel Walker made?
Yes, I did.
He thought he was Steph Curry. Stop.
Yeah, because Steph Curry's the only guy that made a half court buzzer beater before.
Well, he makes it look Steffordless.
Yes, he does.
Lucky. Yeah, go on. Go on. Do not go into it. Go on. Go on. Please go on.
All right. Fine. Let's go to the top of the day. The first game of the day. You know, them boys in Boston going up against the boys of South Beach, Miami. It wasn't looking pretty good for the boys in Boston. It was getting blown out. Boston had, and mind you, yes, Jaylen Brown was still out.
Yeah.
Jaylen Brown was still out. So, I mean, and it's not like this was a bad team. This was a Heat team, and it could be very dangerous.
Yeah.
So, yeah, they could have used Jaylen Brown.
Well, yes, they're part of your hot take anyway, so of course they're dangerous.
It's true. And they also defending Eastern Conference champions.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
But, yeah, the Celtics, what's up with them? It was really struggling, especially on the offensive side.
Bro,
Especially
again,
getting the threes up.
exactly. Well, I don't know what was going on, but this is the thing I keep alluding to when it comes to this team. They're deciding to put in effort and energy at the wrong moment. Don't get me wrong, it's the right moment.
Yeah.
At the wrong time. The energy and effort is supposed to be put in from when the jump ball is thrown up from the ref to when you tipping it off. So when the end of regulation happens, the end of regulation game happens.
Hey, teams just not gonna do that. Teams are just not Russell Westbrook. Let's be honest. That's not gonna happen with all teams.
Okay,
but the problem with the Celtics is that this is almost every game.
Exactly. And that's the thing I keep talking about. It's like whenever it's like they're down by a lot. And look at this is a good thing and a bad thing because it's crazy how the fact they find some way to get back in the game as like like as the fourth quarter come around because it just be weird. But at the same time, you cannot do that because there's certain teams that you could get away with doing that and get a win. And it's teams like what they went against last night with Miami, in which it's just like no matter how much of a comeback you try to make, they're just going to still find a way to get the advantage and take the win because they deserve the win over you. And I got to be honest, the Celtics didn't deserve this win. They did not deserve it at all. And you could say that with a lot of games in which they were in situations like these, in which, hey, they made that fourth quarter comeback, and yet they won the game. Like they didn't deserve this win. Like what happened all those other times? They look so bad, so disgusting. Well, except for against the Spurs, they deserve that one. I'm not gonna lie, they deserve that one against the Spurs. But it was just disappointing just to see how. And I know they make the saying like how it's not how you start, it's how you finish. But it's just like nah. Now
This is Boston. Just like a tidal wave. Just goes up, and then what does the wave do?
Goes right back through now.
Yep. Another one's coming. Is this a big one? This is a 6-game winning streak. And then what happens?
10-game losing streak.
Splash, and everything just goes into the sand.
It really gets you pissed off, especially when you're talking about a team that's so talented. It really pisses you off when you like have to talk about them like this because they should be putting in much more effort than what they actually are.
Yeah, and this is not even just the fact that like we said, Jaylen Brown wasn't playing.
Yeah.
So I don't want to make it seem like we just saying all this because obviously against the Heat you got to need all your pieces.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's just they lose the same way. Healthy or not healthy. They constantly play bad for first 3 quarters or the first half.
Mm-hmm.
When they finally step it up, which is in the fourth quarter, very few times it lose them to get wins like that Spurs game.
Yeah.
Other times it's still too late. The Boston Celtics, unbelievable. But they did, like we said, fourth quarter, and they made that comeback attempt. Mm-hmm. Kemba, Tatum, and they got their defense going up a little bit, but it's too late. All the Bucks did, all the Celtics, all the Heat did was needed was a few stops and a few big buckets.
Exactly.
And that's what happened. Bam, Jimmy, Duncan.
Hero.
Don't smile and say that. That's disrespectful. But yeah, it's just like, come on, man. It's
Hey man, look again. Let's see if they look at they're in the what spot they're in. Well, you want to get to
seventh.
Yeah. Okay. So they're in the playing game.
Yeah.
Well, look at that. They could end up probably getting away with that BS in the playing game, whoever they face. But just know, when the playoffs hit, it ain't gonna work for you too long, buddy. Especially against if you go against the Sixers or the Nuts.
Or the Bucks.
They're most definitely never going to make that happen. Trust and believe that.
This is a little disappointing with the Celtics. Just a little disappointing. But let's talk about a team that is anything but disappointing. How about those New York Knicks? Come on. Hey. How about those Knicks?
Went from being infamy to being legendary.
Hey. Come on, man. Bro. The Knicks last night against the Clippers. Wasn't that just an exceptional game for them? Mm-hmm. The way they played, the defense that they had on this Clippers team. The Clippers are one of the best 3-point shooting teams in the league.
Yeah.
The Knicks made that a point of emphasis. They shut that shit down.
Yes, they did.
They played the Clippers tremendously on the perimeter. Tremendously. Defending them tremendously. I mean, come on.
Yeah, man.
What can you say? I mean, you want to talk about? Let's hold on. Listen. Just Clippers only shot. Now I know I'm stat reading, but hey, the Clippers only shot 34% from the 3-point line. Paul George is 2 for 9 on the 3-point line. Kawhi Leonard, even though he did have a good game, I don't need to read the stats for this because I remember when I was watching the game. Even though he had a good game, I think he had 27 points or 29 points. So he didn't shoot well from the field. And I know you like to say, where you going? Yeah, where is he?
Where was his shots at? Why was he struggling from the field?
Well, but this is different. In the previous games, he was almost like laid back a little bit.
Yeah, passive. Yep.
Yeah, passive. This game, he was aggressive. That's why he had those 29 points, because he was aggressive. He's getting to the hoop. He's getting to the free throw line. But he was inefficient. And that is credit to the Knicks defense. This defense team, they're probably the best defensive team in the league right now.
Yeah.
Tom Thibodeau, one of the best defensive coaches of all time. He's just done a tremendous job. You cannot get that man enough credit. And in a game in which Julius Randle was struggling, picked it up late, but he was struggling throughout the game up until that late in the fourth. And the Knicks still had the lead.
Well, I think you know why.
Yeah, D Rose.
Exactly.
That's right. Former MVP, the youngest MVP of all time.
Yeah, man. That's the rose that grew from the concrete, and he blossomed into something beautiful like this, and you can see it just raw, natural, and authentic in the way he plays. I saw something. I know like me doing this, but I saw something on social media the other day, right?
Oh, Jesus.
Wait. Let me finish. And then talked about how the basketball gods, people said they want to thank the basketball gods for smiling on Derrick Rose and Carmelo Anthony. Because
I saw that too, yeah.
Let's be honest. The way that their game has been just aging beautifully, connecting with this type of time, even though the game has changed on them in a way, with the way that they play, it's beautiful to see how well that they're fitting in and how skilled that they are, that they're able to ball out in this time. Derrick Rose and both of them are many examples. But when you look at Derrick Rose and the things he had to go through and how he had to change up his game a little bit, even though he always had that game before. It was just more athletically dependent when he was young before the injuries happened. Now he's taking more of his time, being more patient, being more poised, whatsoever, things like that. And he has fit in so great with this Knicks team, so great, especially on the offensive end, because they need that spark offensively. I know they got some good guys they can rely on. Again, Julius Randle, obviously their star. You got RJ Barrett, who also had a good game. You got Alex Burks. You got all these good guys who Emmanuel Quickly. He's rookie. You have all these guys that can rely on offensively. But let's be honest, Derrick Rose is really good offensively. Better than majority of the players I just named in that list right there.
Yep. 100%.
And he showed it in this game. He showed it in this game big time.
He stepped up. Also, Reggie Bullock was big, especially from the early going when the Knicks were struggling in that first quarter where they were down 8-0. The Clippers looked like it was about to get it running. Yeah. And then Reggie Bullock just started hitting those threes, giving the Knicks some life. And he's a really key player for them, especially when we have players like Randle trying to, taking the ball, and he attracting double teams, and he's going to the paint. You got need shooters around you.
Yes.
So he's really key for them. Speaking of Randle, my man's not stepping up late in the fourth for them.
Yeah, man. Hey, man, look, I put it like this. This is the game where if D Rose started it, Then Randall finished it. and like, at first I'm thinking like, yo, is the Clippers gonna make this comeback? And then the Knicks next, like the final probably like 5-6 possessions for the Knicks down the stretch.
And through Randall.
Randall. Low post, low block. Let him get his handle on and hit that beautiful shot. That looking like okay. Now I'm not gonna say like Willis Reed. That's kind of disrespectful towards Willis, but like the way he was like his lefty, because they both lefty. So that's when I was like, whoa. I watched the old school footage and then I see this. I'm like, man, that's beautiful to watch. I'm not gonna lie. And the way he went to work in those last possessions down the stretch was beautiful to watch. I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, Julius Randle, all NBA. He is all NBA. I think you was waving on your head. I think you agree.
Yeah, he is. I can't name much. I can't name anyone else. 13 though, but yeah.
Hey, their team is still on the NBA at the time. You know how much talent we have in this league. The third team in the NBA in another league will be the first team. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah.
So, man, it's fun to see the Knicks play, and this was a big win for them, especially against a great Clippers team. Team has been playing really well of late.
Yeah.
In a road trip that against the Western Conference elites. Just mentioned they faced Phoenix in Phoenix, lost. Faced Denver in Denver, lost.
Yeah.
So now they're coming to Los Angeles. This is a big game for them. And if they would have lost this game and lost 3 in a row, I would have said anything. This is three of the best in the West.
Yeah, well, like bad luck always comes to the Clippers anyway. So yeah.
Come on, man. They be playing great. Stop.
I'm just saying.
Stop. But hey, great win by this Knicks team. Much needed win by this Knicks team, especially since the Hawks on their back, and the Heat also now on their back. So they're trying to maintain that 4th seed and get home court in the first round, and also clinch a playoff spot as well because they haven't clinched yet. But all right. I don't think there was no news, right? So
no.
All right. Let's get into predictions for tonight's set of games. Monday basketball, those short lineup. But let's get into it. First primetime game of the night's NBA TV, 7:30. The Washington Wizards, no Bradley Beal, which I read about for this game as he's still dealing with some injury previous game. Going up against the Atlanta Hawks. You got.
Yeah. Sorry, Westbrook. Hawks.
Fortunately, yeah. Bradley Beal, I might have choose. And as much as I really want the Wizards to win this game,
yeah,
I got the Hawks. But keep an eye out for that game as Westbrook could break and pass Oscar Robertson for the most triple doubles in NBA history. On to the next game. The Pacers going to miss the Cavs.
Pacers.
The Pelicans going up against the Grizzlies. My surprise team, your surprise team.
Oh, might as well go against each other. I got my surprise team.
Grizzlies. What?
I said, might as well go against each other. I got my surprise team. I know you're going to choose yours.
Oh, okay. Yeah, sure. We'll see. Grizzlies. Also, a good thing about that Pelicans team, I just forgot to mention, Brandon Ingram wasn't playing.
Which is so that makes it more special to the fact that they won. Huh.
Yeah.
The Hornets suck. It's over.
Yeah, you didn't know that, did you?
Nah, I wasn't paying attention that closely.
Yeah. Just expose them, ladies and gentlemen. Just expose them. I got y'all. See, if we were more known, you would have got a lot of hate.
Hey man, I don't care. Look at least I got what I know was right. And they won.
Hey.
Thank you, Lonzo.
Sure. The Bucks going to miss the Spurs.
Yeah. Bye-bye, San Antonio. Running back next year.
Okay. Bucks Next primetime game of the night's NBA TV, 10 o'clock. Utah Jazz going into Golden State. It's the Warriors.
Utah.
I'm going to upset. I got the Warriors. Curry's been playing out of his mind. And lastly, the Rockets going against the Trail Blazers. Blazers. All right, I think it's time to wrap things up. So you know what time it is. Going to the standings. We are entering. Is this? Let me just make sure.
I think this up and coming week is the last week,
or next Sunday is the last
day
games of the season. So it's getting pretty tight. It is getting pretty tight. It's the last remaining week,
Yeah.
Last remaining week of the NBA season. So let's get into the standings, the seedings. All right. I'll just start from do it for the whole thing. Number 1 seed currently, the Philadelphia 76ers in the Eastern Conference will have home court advantage. They are currently 3 games ahead of the Nets. The Nets are the 2nd seed, only a half game ahead of the Bucks, who are the 3rd seed. The Knicks are that 4th seed. Can't really pass the Bucks now. The Knicks are the 4th seed, and with their win against the Clippers, they get half a game ahead against the Hawks. That means they're a game ahead of the Hawks. The Heat win against the Celtics. The Heat are now tied for Atlanta. Right now, Atlanta's currently hold the tiebreaker, I believe, for that 5th seed, which means the Heat are also a game behind the Knicks.
Yeah.
And with Celtics loss, Celtics push themselves back further, 2 games behind the Heat. And the Celtics will be playing in the playing game as of right now, along with the Hornets, who are the 8th seed, 2 games behind the Celtics. The Wizards, who are the 9th seed, a game behind the Hornets, and the Pacers, who are the 10th seed, half a game back from the Wizards. And with the Bulls still having a chance, 2.5 games behind. So they're not really eliminated. Anything is possible.
Run it back next year.
Love saying that. Also, Toronto's not even mathematically eliminated either. 4.5 games behind. Going to the Western Conference, we have the 1st seed and the best record, not only in the West, but in the league. The Utah Jazz currently have 1st seed, 2 games ahead of the Suns. Going to the 3rd seed, the Clippers, who are 3 games behind the Suns, but I don't see them passing the Suns by 2nd seed. They have 3rd seed. They are a game ahead of the Nuggets, who are the 4th seed. The Mavericks are the 5th seed, 4 games behind the Nuggets. Can't really see them passing the Nuggets either. The Blazers are a game behind the Mavericks, and with the Lakers win, they are only a game behind these Blazers and 2 games behind the Mavericks. Warriors are the 8th seed, half a game ahead of the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies, 9th seed, 2 games ahead of the San Antonio Spurs are the 10th seed, and Pelicans, now mathematically eliminated, are only a game and a half away from the Spurs. They actually do have a chance, really, to take that playing game. And the Sacramento basketball team, not mathematically eliminated either. 2.5 games behind the Spurs. So, yep, that's the seedings. That is the standings for right now, going into the final week of the NBA season.
Oh, it's one thing for sure. See you next year, San Antonio.
What do you mean, see you next year? They could play in the play-in. As of currently. You don't think they could hold it?
Well,
very surprising coming from you.
I know. Let's see who they're playing. Look, so they play the Bucks next game.
Listen to me.
What?
They're not mathematically eliminated, and that was my fake analytical side. That was my fake, Oh, not fake analytical side.
Wait, hold on. Here it is. Here. Look, They play the Bucks tonight.
Mm-hmm.
They play the Nets coming up right after.
Okay.
And they got to go against your Knicks. And then if they, and I think after, and that's where it ends. That's where it ends. And whoever they're playing the playing game, that's when it is.
Okay. And what about, Pelicans?
The Pelicans, let me see the Pelicans.
They play the Grizzlies.
Oh, shoot. Wrong team.
Then they play the Mavericks. Then they play the Warriors. Okay. And then they play the Lakers. The last game of the season.
All right. So you said they play against they play against the Grizzlies, the Mavericks, the Lakers, and who else? What was that last
Warriors.
team? Warriors. Okay, they could beat the Grizzlies, in my opinion. They have a chance against the Grizzlies. Mavericks, if Luka gotta go for 50. Luka really gotta go for 50. The Lakers could give them a run for their money. We all know this.
You realize this is all without Zion?
They still got Brandon Ingram. If he plays.
Listen to me. My fake fake I can't analyst. My fake analyst side, because obviously I'm not an analyst. Says that yes, they still have a chance. Anything is possible. We've seen crazier things in the NBA. The NBA fan and just my funny trolley side says absolutely not. They are not going anywhere. You think they're going anywhere? You're crazy. If you think they're going anywhere? You're a Pelicans fan. Come on, man. Come on, man.
Hey, let's see.
Pelicans, you think they can just flip a switch like this?
I'm not I'm not saying that, but also I'm not down because if you look at who the Spurs are going against, to me, those teams are either tough or better than those other teams that you just named. The Bucks are way better than the Mavericks and the Grizzlies. Way better. They got to go against the next team, and they better hope and pray KD and Kyrie don't play in any of those in that game, because that's going to be real tough already. You just take away one of those stars. That team is still tough. And then
if you're peeling orange, it's still an orange. That's what I gotta say about that.
But yeah, and who else did I say?
Warriors.
And the Knicks, they got to go against the Knicks. And look at the Warriors. Should they beat the Warriors? No. Well, actually, they beat the Warriors. I'm bugging. They turned for lights on Curry and things went wrong. So yeah. In my opinion, the Spurs got a tougher last stretch of games than the Pelicans. That's my opinion.
The Pelicans are disappointing. Yes, and they get a choke, like they always do. And they don't have Zion.
Okay, I see your point.
Hey. Back to my analyst side. Anything's possible. Anything is possible in the NBA. All right. Thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching today's podcast. Make sure to tune into tomorrow's podcast. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, support the channel, comment, all that stuff.
And also follow our TikTok and our IG down in the description below. Have some fun.
Yep, of course. I am Evan.
And I'm Ja.
And this is the Mind of Basketball Podcast.